Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here. Today we have another Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl moveset video guide on how to use Dragonite. If you missed any of my previous moveset video guides, feel free to subscribe to the channel, especially if you're new to the channel, uploading 2 to 3 Pokemon videos a day. We got moveset guides, we got showdown lives. Today we're actually featuring an unknown, believe it or not, we're featuring unknown in OU. And we also have a Wi-Fi battle going up later today as well. So if you like Pokemon content, feel free to subscribe. And again, Dragonite is a highly requested Pokemon, so I wanted to make a video on this. Feel free to suggest other Pokemon down below for that you want to see me, talk about. I'm like having a loss for words right now. It's a little bit late, my bad. But I'll obviously be going over a bunch of different Pokemon. And also, if you guys want to pick up my Pokemon BDSP merch that has launched to celebrate the basic launch of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, that link is down below. Let's talk about Dragonite though. Dragonite has definitely seen a bit of an increase in power since Generation 4, and the main reason is that this Pokemon now has multi-scale as an ability. So when it is at full HP, it is just taking less damage from attacks, and this is really, really nice. So it's so nice. It's just half, right? It's halved. So Inner Focus is also obviously really good. I don't really have it on any of the sets, but you could easily put it on the sets in like other generations just because it blocks Intimidate now. But for the most part, you just want to go multi-scale because when you're at full HP, you're good. So pair this thing with Defoggers, Rapid Spinners, Defog Latios, Defog Gliscor, Defog Scizor, Rapid Spin Donphan, all phenomenal partners that can get rid of the hazards for Dragonite. So the first set we have is Choice Band Dragonite, one of my favorite Dragonite sets. You have a Choice Band, you're locked into a move, 1.5 times the power on your already base 134 attack. You can go either Adamant or Jolly. If you're going either or, just go max attack, max speed. Jolly, the benefit of that is you're faster than Jolly Breloom. Adamant, the benefit of that is you're strong as hell, right? And you're still, like, the damage you do to Gliscors and everything is just so insane. So Outrage, I like Outrage a lot, even if there is Clefable in the OU tier. I don't care. One of the best partners with a Dragonite is probably a Magnezone. Not only does it trap Skarmory and also trap Scizor for the Outrage, but it also deals massive damage to Clefable and can resist the Moonblast. So Outrage, I really like that. You have Earthquake right there for Heatran. It's also just good for Tyranitar, Magnezone, just steel types in general. It's really strong for them. Extreme Speed is your priority move. You're doing an insane amount of damage to Pokemon that are faster than you, like Infernape and Latios. You easily 2-KO those Pokemon with Banded Extreme Speed. They can't switch into you safely. And your last move is kind of a toss-up of what you want. You got Fire Punch, lets you knock out Scizor in one hit. You got Dragon Claw, lets you click a dragon move that doesn't lock you in, potentially getting revenge killed by fairy types or something faster. Or you have Iron Tail. Choice Band Iron Tail is pretty cool because it gives you an option versus Clefable. And if it's special defensive Clefable, oh my god, does this Iron Tail send it flying. So those are your options when it comes to the Dragonite. I think another one is potentially Sleep Talk too, if you want to switch it in on Breloom Spore. Just one of those options. I don't like that as much personally, but it is an option on a Dragonite for sure. Of course, if we talking Dragonite, we gotta talk Dragon Dance. So the standard Dragon Dance set, Lumberry for your Outrage so you don't hit yourself in confusion. Usually go Jolly on this. You want to be faster than Adamant Lucario, Timid Heatran, again Jolly Breloom, stuff like that, especially because you have the Lumberry. You can get an extra Dragon Dance up in front of them. So Dragon Dance, Outrage. I like Extreme Speed a lot on this. It's just great for, again, those Scarfers, like those weakened Scarfers. Like Rotom Wash is running around with a Scarf a lot, so you can E-Speed it if it's like at 60% and you're +1, so that way it can't like burn you or trick you or lock you into something, because Scarf learns Will-O-Wisp as well. And then your last move is Earthquake or Fire Punch. Earthquake obviously for Heatran, Jirachi, Magnezone. Fire Punch still hitting Jirachi, still hitting Magnezone, just picking up KO on Scizor, but also being able to hit Skarmory as well. And again, if you're going Adamant on this thing, Outrage is sometimes even enough for Heatran because it just does, it's like a 2-hit KO after Stealth Rock, so at +1. Now you don't have to go Lumberry, you can go Haban Berry, you can go Yachi Berry. Honestly, any type of berry like that, leftovers is fine too, or even Life Orb just for the added power, but I wouldn't use Life Orb. Back in the day, Dragonite would use Life Orb sometimes just because it's insanely strong, but because there are fairy types in the tier, well, there's like one main fairy type. There's 2 fairy types in the tier, which are Togekiss and Clefable, but the main Pokemon is Clefable. That's like the most common fairy type in OU. Actually, there's also a Azumarill, excuse me. But those are the big 3 of fairy types, and the only 3 fairy types you have in the tier. And Azu is like 2 KO with that +1 extreme speed and +1 earthquake, so you don't really have to wear as much of that. Also, in your multi-scale, you can live when you're in multi-scale, you can live like a player up from some variations of like banded, not banded, but the belly drum Ozzy, you can live a hit. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, you can go any of those items on this Pokemon if you want to. There is a second Dragonite set that is running around that I think is pretty cool too, and that is Dragon Dance Substitute, Fly, and Roost. Now, this one, right, you have enough speed for Breloom. So 176 speed gives you enough speed for Jolly Breloom, so you can sub up on it, or attack before it goes to Spore, or tries to put you to sleep, or whatever. You have 248 HP, that's basically damn near max HP. That way you can switch into Stealth Rock multiple times. It lets you switch into Stealth Rock one more time than having max HP would. But also just maximizes your bulk, allowing you to not have your subs broken by Heatran's Magma Storm, right? So that's a pretty cool thing. The 84 defense, and you can really play around with those extra EVs if you really want to. You can also just go max speed if you want to. But the 84 defense lets you take 2 Choice Band close combats from Infernape after Stealth Rock. You're not always going to be in multi-scale, especially because Stealth Rock is one of the best moves in the game. Even better right now because we're losing a lot of, we don't have a lot of good defoggers, rapid spinners like we had before. Not to say that we don't have some good defoggers, rapid spinners, because that's actually a lie. We have Starmie and Donphan are great rapid spinners, right? And then you also have Scizor and Glasgow, which are great defoggers. So, and there's more. Just those are just to name the top tier ones in my opinion. But sometimes you're not going to be able to take or get rid of the hazards. So Dragonite's something that even after Stealth Rock is not 2-hit KO'd by a Choice Band in Infernape's close combat. Especially with leftovers recovery too, but even without leftovers recovery, you're not 2-hit KO'd. The max it can do to you, if I'm not mistaken, is 72% with 2 close combats, and you'll be at 75% after rocks. So this is just allows you to take that even well and set up in front of that. But the idea behind this is this Pokemon can set up on Gliscors because some of them are Earthquake U-Turn, Stealth Rock Roost, so you sub up on Brelooms, you sub up on Heatrans that don't have Roar or Taunt. And Fly is just a good move because not only does it hit neutral on basically everything besides like steels and rocks, but it also just allows you to hit like fairies while also not missing out on like dragons and things like that. So again, the neutral thing, and just reiterating that, I guess. But yeah, Dragonette's sub, Fly, Roost lets you stall out some stuff as well. I'm sure you could also make this really special defensive if you really wanted to and beat like a Clefable 1v1 that doesn't have Calm Mind, like just like a Wish, Protect, Moonblast, Flamethrower Clef. I'm pretty positive you can beat it 1v1, even if it's unaware, just because you can sub and Roost. Though you do have to worry about Flamethrower potentially burning you. But with your bulk and multi-scale intact as well, you get a lot that could do. And then the next set we have is a mixed Dragonite set. This is a really cool Dragonite set from back in the day as well. Now, it's not as good right now, unless you want to put like Iron Tail on it for Clefable. But Draco Meteor, if you want to drop a Draco on your opponent, very strong move. Can easily 2-hit KO. Like Gliscors, for instance. You Fire Blast for your steel types like Skarmory, Bronzong, I guess to a lesser extent. Earthquake is there for Heatran, Tyranitar. Speaking of Tyranitar, we have the 192 speed to outspeed Jolly Tyranitar, Dragonite's variants with Tyranitar and Adamant Brelooms and stuff like that. Everything around that speed tier. The rest is just put into attack to have stronger Earthquakes and extreme speeds. You don't technically have to go, I guess, multi-scale on this one because you have a Life Orb, which is getting rid of your own multi-scale. However, you never know when you need Dragonite to take a hit, right? Like a +2 Psychic from Alakazam, for instance. If you're in multi-scale, you'll live it. So you could maybe switch in and go for extreme speed if you need to be able to do that, right? You don't have to. But if you don't want to go multi-scale, you can go Inner Focus. Might be cool to like not be flinched by a Scarf Zen Headbutt Jirachi or a random Intimidate Staraptors in the tier or something. You're fighting something like that, but yeah, otherwise multi-scale is just always the go-to. But this is just a mix breaker for Dragonite. And then we do have another set, which is the Choice Specs Dragonite for Rain. If you're maybe using a Rain team, though Drizzle is banned on Showdown, you could still use it on Wi-Fi because who the hell is going to stop you? But if you want to use like a Politoed or a Pelipper with Drizzle to pair with these, Dragonite's a pretty cool Rain abuser. Because it has Thunder, which is 100% accurate in the rain, and it also has Stab Hurricane, which hits so hard. And then you have Draco Meteor, of course, and then your last move is either Ice Beam. Ice Beam is cool for Gliscor for the Oko, but also Garchomp stuff. But you also have Draco Meteor and Hurricanes, which 2-hit KO those as well. Maybe you want to hit Gliscor, but you also want to hit Heatran, so you can go Surf, Choice Spec Surf in the rain. It'll be 2-hit KOs on both, or Smash Gliscor. And then another option is also Sleep Talk, because rain teams, you got to think about rain Pokemon, right? You got Pelipper or Politoed. Both do not like Breloom. Even if Pelipper can threaten it with a Hurricane and Politoed can threaten it with a Psychic or Ice Beam, they don't like Breloom, period. Right? And your Kingdras, your Manaphy's, they don't like switching it on Breloom. especially if it's like a Scarf Breloom too, in Manaphy's case. So this is cool. Maybe like you're designated switching to Breloom on the team to get the Sleep Talk, to take the Spore, and then you go for Sleep Talk as Breloom tries to go for SD or Bullet Seed, and you're going to Sleep Talk either Draco Meteor, Hurricane, hopefully not Thunder, but even Thunder will be a 2 KO with Specs. Just how strong it is. So it's just a way of dealing with that, but just another way of using Dragonite. And then the last Dragonite set we have, and again, you can also, I'm going to mention like Thunder Wave could be slashed on this with Dragon Tail or whatever, but it's physically defensive Dragonite. This is your Gliscor check, this is your Scizor check, this is your Breloom check. At multi-scale, this can be a Garchomp check too. This is also potentially a Crawdaunt check, though that very literally, like that, not as much. This is your Infernape check, right? So it's a good physical wall, and the reason why it can be a physical wall is the combination of multi-scale plus Roost plus leftovers for longevity, and then you have the Ice Beam for, you know, Gliscor, you have the Flamethrower for Skarmory and Scizor. You're running Relax Nature because you want, you know, your attack and your defense to be good, but you don't have to run Relax. You can run Bold or Impish depending on what you end up running. But Earthquake is there as an option as well for Heatran, which this thing can easily switch it on Heatran, and Earthquake can 2-hit KO that thing. But if you don't want to use Earthquake, you can use Defog. And I just want to say Defog can be slashed next to Ice Beam, next to Earthquake, next to Flamethrower, whatever you really need, depending. I have 8 speed for Skarm, Scizors, and just certain speed tiers above them, potentially. Like sometimes they like to hit above that speed tier. Not usually, at least not in Scizor's case, because that's a lot of speed investment for Scizor. But sometimes Skarmory likes to hit around that tier, so that's just like something, you know, that's just something to be aware of, because at neutral Skarmory is there, so you're faster than Skarm, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the Earthquake, Defog, Ice Beam, just max defense, 248 HP, 8 speed for that. But that's basically all I got for Dragonite. Again, you can run like a Thunder Wave, Dragon Tail, Sub Roost. I don't like that as much because there's Fairy types in the tier, but if you want to do that, use that with Hazards. Run Hazard Control with this Pokemon, run some Spikes. It's a phenomenal Pokemon. I absolutely love using Dragonite. I used it in my first video for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. I used the Dragmag team with Dragonite, and Dragmag is basically Dragon Spam plus like Magnezone, and it did really, really well. So if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.